Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. So are your altcoins down the same as mine are? Guys, this is XRP on the hourly downtrend over the last several hours here. This has been the pervading theme for lots of altcoins, guys. I'm going to bring up XLM here on the chart. XLM seeing a downward trend too. Let's look at ADA, Cardano, downward trend. Maybe some more recent DeFi projects that saw gains in the summer, but Link is down too, guys. Let's look at Polkadot, down as well. And guys, what is the only thing that isn't down? Bitcoin. Look at how wonderfully Bitcoin is holding support. Now, there's a reason for this, in my opinion. Bitcoin is right now trading at 13,335 per BTC, and it's actually up 1.57% in the last 24 hours. This is CoinMarketCap. We can see Bitcoin dominance is creeping up, 63.2%. And guys, everything else in the space is in the red. Ethereum down 1.37%, XRP down 2.13%, Bitcoin Cash down over 1%, Chainlink down over 3%, Binance Coin down over 5%, Polkadot down over 2%. And guys, if you look over here, take a look at these chart patterns. You can see all the altcoins are forming similar patterns, traveling in a downward trajectory, whereas Bitcoin is the only leader moving upward. And guys, this is a common feature of a bull rally. Why is this happening? When are altcoins going to rebound? Well, there's a lot going on in the space right now that is positive for the entire crypto market. This industry is going to be more about Bitcoin than the alts because Bitcoin, of course, has the name recognition. It's going to pull investors into the crypto space. And I think that is a large part of the reason why we're seeing Bitcoin still maintain, even though it did come down from this high of almost $13,900. This is why we are still seeing Bitcoin maintain. Like, look at this. Even if I put it on the 4-hour chart, we are seeing, like, look at this trend line. Still, we're seeing higher lows, higher highs. Look at it on the 1-day time frame as well. And you're still seeing that same kind of chart here. Okay, so Bitcoin on the 1-day, Bitcoin on the 4-hour. We're still seeing that same kind of trend. Okay, higher lows, higher highs. Bitcoin holding its own, and I don't have to show you again, but I'll bring up XRP again. Everything else is moving downward. But that's not to say that there aren't developments happening for altcoins as well. Jim Rickards, that's right, famous investor Jim Rickards, talks about XLM with regards to the IBM project. We're going to get to that in a sec. But guys, I wanted to talk about this. So Ripple partner Nium has teamed up with Banco Hipotecario on international transfers. This from the Cryptic Poet here on Twitter. So Nium, a global fintech infrastructure platform, and Banco Hipotecario, a state bank in El Salvador, today announced a collaboration to enhance the international transfer offerings for customers and businesses across the country. The partnership will open the door to new international payment corridors beyond Latin America and introduce convenient, secure, and real-time global payment capabilities to corporate and individual customers of Banco Hipotecario. And they're mentioning this, in recent years, digital banking services have consistently gained market share and popularity in El Salvador. And of course, the pandemic has just accelerated that movement. So we're seeing more Ripple partners forge their own partnerships with other banks, sign on other banks in all these different countries around the world. Nium happens to be getting a lot of traction lately. I've been noticing a lot coming out of the Nium camp. Wanted to thank the Cryptic Poet for posting that. Some great Ripple news today, guys. This from Ian Northing. Ripple's advanced Oracle-powered smart contract system wins its patent. So we talked about this a few days ago, but now the patent has been granted. So Ripple Labs is on the verge of a milestone development for the crypto space of late. The leading blockchain-based payment technology company has recently been awarded with a U.S. patent, and it gives the patent number here, for a state-of-the-art smart contract which would use Oracle for connecting a distributed portal to various real-world data. It's certainly great news for the Ripple community, and crypto experts are expecting a rise in XRP price in the near future. So this was in part due to Stefan Thomas. Interestingly, Ripple has been working on the patent for a couple of years now, and they've been working on it since back in 2018. If implemented, the patented design will facilitate a number of beneficial real-world use cases. For example, one use case would be usage of smart contracts for settling options contracts automatically if predetermined conditions match, like the debt-to-equity ratio of a firm hitting a specific mark. So they're just talking about all the different use cases that this patent would cover. This market is heating up, guys, and Ripple really doing their due diligence, making sure they have those patents to cover all their bases when it comes to moving money. Of course, they do have an adversary, a competitor, if you will, somebody who professionally and personally personally used to be linked to Ripple, actually one of the co-founders, Jed McCaleb, and XLM is fighting back. They are not taking a back seat in this cryptocurrency revolution. They're fighting back. I'm going to get to that clip in a sec, guys. But with regards to this, Ripple finally got their patent granted, so that's great news. And VeChain, guys. We've heard a lot about VeChain. This from Martin Volk on Twitter. VeChain is not a scam anymore. I didn't know it was a scam, but apparently some people were considering VeChain a scam way back when. But now Sunny Liu, the CEO of VeChain, has proven otherwise. So he recently spoke at the Shanghai International Blockchain Week about the achievements of the VeChain toolchain. VeChain are continuing to lead the digital transformation and mass adoption for blockchain and the IoT market, worth about $3 trillion. Sunny Liu recently expressed that they believe that blockchain and the VET token will make the world fair. Also stated that to quicken the entire process, they are going to run a 500 million VET giveaway. No matter how optimistic the team leading the project are, investors' worries are about the price being very low despite the many good projects. Of course, investors are always going to worry about that, but right now we're just at the mercy of the crypto market as a whole. VET, also one of those altcoins that have seen declines as of late. Let's not dwell on the price too much right now because there is a reason for that. So this article goes a little bit deeper as to what VeChain does, of course, the history it's had, the partnerships it's made, and I've been reporting over the last few months how interested I started getting into VeChain. Didn't realize that people were considering it a scam right at the beginning. Someone who tried to be practical stated, I also remember such a delegation going into the offices at Ripple a few years ago and wanting to find out as much as possible. They never intended to use Ripple or XRP. I would like to think that this may be different, but Sunny has to try keeping and staying positive with China. From what I understand, China is very, very interested in the VeChain project. Of course, China and Chinese products are known around the world to have a high counterfeiting rate. So the VeChain project, obviously, being able to track and monitor the supply chain, I think will lend a lot of legitimacy to this project. And so China should be definitely very, very warm to the VeChain project, which I believe they are. I wanted to thank Martin Volk for pointing that out. More news here, guys. Now, this I saw from Anders L here at X__Anderson on Twitter. What do you guys think about this? He retweeted this out from Brooklyn Patriot, XLM, straight from Jim Rickards himself. And he got this from Digital Asset Buy here on Twitter. Now, for those of you guys who do not know, James Rickards, or Jim Rickards, is an American lawyer, speaker, and media commentator and author on matters of finance and precious metals specifically. He is also the author of Currency Wars, The Making of the Next Global Crisis, and 5 other books. This just coming from Wikipedia. I just did a quick Google search for him just to give you guys some context if you do not know who he is. Now, I've done videos on Jim Rickards in the past. I'll link one up here in the top right-hand corner to give you guys a sense of who he is if you want to become more familiar with him. Okay, but let me get back to this. I saw this tweet. So the Brooklyn Patriot retweeted this. Let me go here and let me guys play you this. So this is Jim Rickards talking about IBM and the XLM project.
Merchant acquirer accepts your MasterCard, then they got to hand it over to the local bank. That bank has to send it to a correspondent bank in Sydney, Australia. The bank in Sydney, Australia has got to run it through the Visa network. Then they got to get paid. Then they got to send it back to this little bank. So think of all the steps, all the costs, etc. What if you could replace that with a blockchain? They are doing this, by the way. This is a real pilot using the Lumen token. Well, IBM has built this. Lumen is the token of choice. It's working extremely well. This value is moving around without going through this clunky central bank network and correspondent bank network that I just described. It's cheaper. That means, people can either lower prices or offer more services. And it's also big on remittances. A lot of
All right, and the clip ends there. He goes on, but the clip gets cut off. So Jim Rickards talking about IBM and their integration with Stellar Lumens. Now, we talked about this in the past. This is not new news. We have known that IBM has been working with Stellar in order to create, I don't know if I would consider it competing technology to what Ripple is doing, specifically going head-to-head with them, but it does have to do with payments, of course. It does have to do with utilizing the XLM token to do something similar to XRP. As you guys also know, Jed McCaleb was one of the co-founders of Ripple before he left and started the XLM project. I found it interesting, though, that Jim Rickards was talking about this. I don't have any more context revolving around this. It sounds to me like a podcast. So Jim Rickards here talking up XLM. Is he bullish? Does it matter? Especially, when all these coins are essentially just here. I'll bring up XLM one more time. all these coins are essentially dipping in this market. XLM right now just trading at about 7.5 cents. And even Brad Garlinghouse has said there is going to be a lot of space in this industry for many different projects to thrive. I know some of you guys are hedging your XRP bags with XLM. Might be a prudent idea. Want to keep moving along though? I saw this guy's from Michael at Val5Links with regards to MoneyGram and their market development fees. That's right, Ripple, as we know, continues pumping money in because they see the rewards that they could reap if they keep investing in this company. Remittance firm MoneyGram continues to receive millions in market development fees from its investor blockchain payment firm Ripple. So this was found out through their financial results of quarter 3 2020. Ripple handed over $9.3 million in that period. After about $0.4 million in transaction and trading expenses, MoneyGram saw a net benefit of $8.9 million. The payment is the latest since Ripple, which provided several payment products aimed at financial institutions, invested $50 million in the money sender back last year in November 2019. In quarter 2 2020, MoneyGram received $15.1 million for the same stated period. So a lot of people might be saying, is Ripple just throwing in good money after bad? But Ashish Burrell, I don't know if you guys remember, he did talk about this. He did say basically, if you're going to invest in a company, you have to put in the money it takes in order to make a company succeed. And this is why it's a lot easier to get richer when you're already rich. This is also the reason why I have a lot of confidence in the MoneyGram and Ripple partnership. We know Ripple has very, very deep pockets, has ties with many institutional and governmental bodies around the world, including central banks. So there's huge partnerships there. And the fact that Ripple keeps pumping money into MoneyGram does not scare me one bit. It actually makes me confident that they have the confidence in MoneyGram to keep pushing that partnership forward, to keep building on the rails. Of course, we got to remember MoneyGram already has those relationships and those brick and mortar locations in many countries around the world. So they've already been doing this. They've already been doing the cross-border remittance thing. Now, Ripple has the technology to accelerate that process. And, it's going to keep happening. This should not surprise anybody, but I wanted to thank Michael at Val5Links for posting this to keep us privy of the MoneyGram Ripple situation. There was also this, guys, just wanted to announce that Coinfield is also going to be supporting the Flare networks and the Spark airdrop for XRP hodlers on December 12th. This was brought to us by the Cryptic Poet on Twitter. So for those of you guys using the Coinfield exchange, you can now set up your XRP wallet to claim Spark tokens 1-to-1. There are many different methods to do this. This is just one more recent announcement coming out from the Coinfield camp. I'm always very leery to keep my tokens on the exchange, but again, this is another way you can do it. I've personally done mine on the Ledger Nano, and guys, I even did a how-to video. I'll link it up here in the top right-hand corner if you guys still haven't seen that. The Ledger Nano is a cold wallet storage system where you have your own personal keys. So if you have your keys, your crypto is more secure. It's not vulnerable to crypto exchange hacks. So there are many different ways you guys can claim Spark tokens. Again, check out that video, guys, if you do have a Ledger Nano and want to claim them straight from your Ledger Nano S or X. There was also this from XRP Crypto Wolf. Ripple partner Siam Bank delves into DeFi. So another Ripple partner making big moves in the space. Siam Bank, one of the largest commercial banks in Thailand, is making moves in the decentralized finance space. SCB10X, the bank's venture arm, is working with DeFi ecosystem Alpha Finance Lab to attract users to DeFi. Early investments have been part of the SCB10X's strategy in the past, with the Thailand bank's venture arm investing in Ripple and BlockFi in the past as well. So Kawiwu Tempuwapat, I think, head of venture builder SCB10X, said, SCB10X is committed to embracing emerging technologies with Alpha Finance Labs to create a unique suite of products that bridge the gap between the traditional and decentralized financial sectors. Alpha Finance Labs, in turn, is also backed by DeFi investors, including the Spartan Group, Multicoin Capital, and D-Finance Capital. The company's first DeFi product, Alpha Homora, is a protocol for leveraging an investor's position in yield farming pools and is currently live on the Ethereum blockchain. So more great news there, guys, coming out of the space. Siam Bank, yet another one on the list, dipping its toes into DeFi, and of course, Siam Bank, a Ripple partner as well. I'm not surprised that these banks that have already partnered with Ripple are looking to continue to innovate because they see the future. You know, if they're the type of, or rather, if the CEO of these banks that I keep talking about that have partnered with Ripple have already seen the benefit in using RippleNet and eventually leveraging XRP, I could see that they are probably more likely to move into this space, expand out, think outside the box. And this is just going to be great for the crypto space as a whole, not to mention Ripple and XRP maturation. So things are heating up, okay? I saw this originally from Martin Volk here on Twitter. And so Coinbase is declaring a $30 billion crypto payments war with PayPal. Obviously, we heard the PayPal news the other day, how they are integrating cryptocurrencies. Well, now this, observations from the fintech Shark Tank. Cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase announced that it will launch a Visa debit card in the US in 2021. We actually talked about that yesterday. The card has been available in the UK and the European Union for about a year now. And Coinbase will charge customer a 2.49% liquidation fee unless the customer opts to use USDC, in which case there is no fee at all. According to Benzinga, while this may be on the higher end compared to alternative cards, consumers are likely to appreciate the convenience of having immediate access to spend their cryptocurrencies on how and when they choose. Guys, I'm going to leave the rest of this article in the description. What I wanted to point out here was the fact that this kind of thing is flaring up, okay? And what I mean by this kind of thing, cryptocurrency mainstream exposure. The headline of this article itself, Coinbase declares a $30 billion crypto payment war with PayPal. Think about how loaded that statement is for a second here. We have PayPal that just came out saying they're going to incorporate cryptocurrencies. That has been getting the crypto community at large very, very excited. Now, Coinbase coming back and saying, well, we've got to now compete with PayPal considering this is going to be the case. Now, the frenzy. Think about what's fueling this. Now think about what I was talking about earlier, Bitcoin price. Pretty much unwavering, while the rest of cryptocurrencies are diving, okay? All the other altcoins in the space are diving. You can see it here, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, with a lot of these charts looking fairly similar for the altcoins, and yet Bitcoin is still maintaining its strong level of support. Okay, what else do we have going on? Let's take a look at this. Very, very interesting tweet from Crypto Whale at Crypto Whale on Twitter. Bitcoin longs and shorts have both dropped drastically over the last hour. Now, he's talking about last night, okay? Look at how significant this drop was for longs and shorts in the Bitcoin market. He goes on to say there's usually an inverse correlation between these two rates. That's why I find this so interesting. So there's been a drop in longs and shorts. Perhaps a bit of uncertainty in the space. Is Bitcoin going up higher? Is it going to come down lower? We've already tested this level of support. It's even gotten veteran traders like Crypto Whale here very, very interested. To me, the fact that alts are diving is because these shorter term crypto traders, whether they're swing traders or day traders, are likely seeing the potential upside for Bitcoin at this moment in time. Let's not forget, Bitcoin tends to move first. Well, has moved first in the past, and we've seen this all throughout 2016 and 2017. When I bring the Bitcoin chart here to 2017, we saw a strong trend upward for Bitcoin, and I've showed you guys this in the past. I've looked at XRP specifically with regards to this. When we look at XRP, or rather, let me put it on Poloniex just to show you guys, give you guys some history here. When I bring up XRP, we can see a lot of sideways movement, and again, this was during the same period of time, okay, when Bitcoin was consistently going up. A lot of sideways flat movement, then a pop, sideways flat movement, then a pop. Okay, so these cryptocurrencies don't ultimately act the same way. They're not a carbon copy of one another. Bitcoin tends to move first, and so now we're seeing shorts and longs dropping drastically. What else do we have here? Crypto user moves $1.1 billion in Bitcoin. Not going to get into the article itself. Of course, I link everything in the description so you guys can read it if you are interested. But according to on-chain data, a Bitcoin wallet holder moved more than 88,857 BTC, guys. This is worth $1.15 billion, and the fee was only 0.0002784 BTC, or $3.58 at the time of publication. That is a heck of a lot of BTC to be moving. Are these mega traders seeing something we do not see? Are they ready to cash out? Are they ready to buy long? I have a feeling the trend is going to continue to move upward just based on what we've seen in the past. What else do we have, guys? Well, Bitcoin suddenly slides 4%, so this is going back to when we had actually seen the Bitcoin price take a bit of a dip. Let's put it back here on the hourly. Okay, so the 4% that they're talking about here is actually when it was moving from here, all right, to about here. Or rather, that's 4% approximately. Okay, so this article was written a little while ago, but 4% is nothing in the grand scheme of things. That is a blip on a Bitcoin chart when you're actually talking about full potential Bitcoin volatility. But listen to what they're saying here. The price of Bitcoin abruptly dropped 4% from the day's peak as the uncertainty in the stock market intensified. The price of Bitcoin abruptly dropped, okay? And the reason is because Bank of America has suggested that there could be a 20% drop in the stock market, of course, depending on the outcome of the U.S. presidential election. So all this stuff is tied together. The Dow Jones Industrial Average declined 7.55% since October 12th. Tech-heavy stock indices performed slightly better in the same 3 weeks as the Nasdaq dropped only 5.8%. So a lot of this stuff is all correlated, and I think maybe people, especially big traders that are moving 88,857 BTC, are likely waiting for the outcome or are preparing themselves for the outcome of this presidential election. Again, guys, when people have confidence in Bitcoin, it takes money out of the altcoin market cap, okay, and puts it into Bitcoin. That's why we have been consistently seeing this Bitcoin dominance percentage rise. And it's headlines like this that begin to flip sentiments. This is from the Cryptic Poet. Wall Street money will pour into the crypto market, guys. It is coming. This is just another article with regards to that PayPal story. But also, if you take a look, we are seeing cryptocurrency-related stocks rising in comparison to the general stock market. So which includes, so these types of stocks include semiconductors, payments, and brokerage companies that have some exposure to the cryptocurrency space. That is up 88% year to date compared to the S&P 500, which is only up by 5% over the same period. This theme could be of interest to investors who are looking for an upside from cryptocurrency adoption and prices, but want to avoid buying into currencies themselves considering the volatility, risk of fraud or cyber theft, or potential portfolio mandates. Below is a bit more about the stocks in our theme and how they have fared this year. So taking a look at some stocks, Square, the Cash Mobile app, has emerged as a very popular way for people to buy and sell Bitcoin. They are up 183% year to date. Let's go down here. Another one, NVIDIA. They are a semiconductor company that is best known for its graphics processing unit, which has been used a lot for Bitcoin mining. That stock gained over 131% year to date. Of course, on the cryptocurrency news, PayPal stock is also up 88% this year. And Advanced Micro Devices, another semiconductor major that makes CPUs and GPUs, which are increasingly used in Bitcoin mining, that stock has gained about 79% year to date. Interesting. And this, finally, with regards to the global picture and cryptocurrency, namely Bitcoin, and the reason why Bitcoin could be rising and finding that strong level of support where we're seeing it right now. Iran's new crypto law requires miners to sell Bitcoin directly to the central bank. And you know what those laws are, guys? By the way, I should say this one was from XRP Crypto Wolf. Gonna link the tweet in the description. And this one from Michael at Val5 Links. Iran has become the first country to constitute Bitcoin as legal means of exchange within its jurisdiction. The move comes following renewed waves of U.S. sanctions. So this is all culminating. A perfect storm for Bitcoin to thrive in a market of relative uncertainty. The presidential election, countries like Iran now saying that they are going to be the first country to constitute Bitcoin as a legal means of exchange within the country. And people are reacting to this, like moving large sums of Bitcoin. And this is all going to cause a chain reaction, guys. Cause and effect. People do things because they hear things and vice versa. And sometimes it becomes circular. But this is all fueling itself. Ultimately, it's going to be good for the crypto space. I know cryptocurrencies, rather altcoins right now, aren't faring so well, but we're going to see more things like this, especially when you take a look at the Iranian currency and how it has lost value over the years. Just to give you guys some context as to why Iran is doing this. So the Iranian rial, that is the currency. The value of the rial, if I just go down here, in 1932, the rial was pegged to the British pound at £1, which would equal 59.75 rials. The exchange rate was 80.25 in 1936, and then it gives you guys a list of the exchange rates for the rial over time throughout the 40s. The rial was pegged to the US dollar at $1 equals 32.25 rial. The rate was $1 to 75.75 rials in 1957. And then Iran did not follow the dollar's devaluation in 1973, leading to a new peg of $1, which would equal 68.725 rials. The peg to the USD was dropped in 1975. Now, to put things into perspective, in March 1978, you could buy 71.46 rials for the equivalent of $1 US. But because there was a flight of capital from Iran shortly before and after the revolution, guys, this happened in the late 70s and early 80s, by the time July 1999 rolled around, that real had hyperinflated, so it was 71.46 reals for $1, and by 1999 it was 9,430 Iranian reals for a US dollar. Hyperinflation basically wrecked the currency, and Iranians have been dealing with this ever since. So now Bitcoin as a legal means of exchange, this makes sense. Of course, cryptocurrency didn't exist back then, now it does. And this isn't the only country where we're seeing this. Argentina, Venezuela, there are lots of countries where the same kind of problem is occurring. And so is this the time for Bitcoin to really shine, to shoot up to 6 digits within the next 12 months? And guys, if Bitcoin reaches 100,000, you know what that's going to mean for the crypto market. We're going to see altcoins rise eventually. Our XRP will rise along with Bitcoin, the same as we saw back in the summer. And 33 cents, a lot of us were fairly excited when we saw 33 cents, but that is just the beginning. That was just a precursor for what is yet to come. Let's not forget, Bitcoin price pumps first. Investors tend to take their money out of Bitcoin when they see a price target that they're willing to sell at. The money gets taken out, pumped into altcoins like XRP, and this is when we see cryptocurrencies like XRP see tens of thousands of percentage points in gains. So don't fret about your altcoins, guys. The best is yet to come. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.